Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 5 of our Let's Play of Star Traders Frontiers. In the last episode, we delivered the Arbiter, Estelle Brockstrom, to the court of Callaghan Vane, and we started our first mission on his behalf for a hefty paycheck of 170,000 credits. The mission is a long one. We're to escort a diplomat across the galaxy. It was a 10 hyperjump mission, and we've only got a couple of objectives left. We've got our final stop, and then we finally have to go home. We've also managed to upgrade our crew quarters to house 30 people, and we added a new soldier to our roster. I believe that the quartermaster commander talent is back. Yeah, it is. So we'll be looking to add someone else shortly. Let us begin by, I suppose, setting off to Brien's corridor. It'll be nice to... I was about to say it would be nice to get out of here before we run into any trouble. I'm just going to retreat here. Luckily, Signature Jammer has saved us from one reputation loss, so we only lost one. I believe Signature Jammer can't reduce it below 1. I think you're always guaranteed to take 1 at the very least of the skill pops. Or exactly 1 rather. Right, good thing we had the save. I know I don't like refueling at population planets, but given that this is the quickest on our journey, I don't see why not. Given that they're Rychart, I think I'm going to demand some tribute. Because I feel like we can get away with that. I feel like we could take the reputation hit if we needed to, especially since all of our missions at the moment have been focused on aiding Rychart. Okay, so we've got mercenaries. This might be interesting. This might be a good place for us to pick up another contact. I don't really want to face a pirate. I would quite like just to get this, but I'm not going to risk it. Same with blockade, too risky, and same with intel. I'm surprised that we haven't managed to get any intel yet. The alert scanner has told us that there's a pirate fleet in Thurian Pass. Let's have a look at how far away that is. That's 6 jumps, so shouldn't really impact us too much. Let's land, let's refuel. I want to have a look at the recruits. All the recruits gain. Okay. Nothing too exciting. I was hoping for something that wasn't standard crew, but that's fine. We can find them somewhere else. Most likely from our contacts. Right, so we have one person who's leveled up. That is a pilot. I mean, sure, landfall would be useful, sharp steering would be useful. I don't think anything is better than evasive maneuvers. I'm definitely going to go for that. Our ship's a bit bulkier than the Jura we had with our first captain. I think with a few weapon upgrades we can certainly hold our own in a firefight. Right, so our hyper jump was safe and successful. I don't think we had another safe, so very glad that went well. Let's look to refuel at the refinery. Shouldn't have bothered. Let's just move on, I suppose, then. We failed the ship up test. I think that's one of our first failures in a while. Spoke too soon. Commentator's curse, I suppose. Let's post up here. This looks okay-ish. I'm not too happy about this one. Let's have a look at what happens. Well, that was bound to happen, wasn't it? We did pass the test. So I think we're fine. Oh, once again, I'd quite like to stretch for the contact introduction. Let's give it a go. I'm definitely going to regret this. I mean, it could have been worse, right? Right, I think we'll leave it at that. Fool me twice, never a third time. Right, let's definitely refuel. We've got quite a lot of issues with our ship, our health, our team's morale. Wow, our officer is on 15 morale. This is going to take a while, but well, we didn't even get him up to max. There's just no more spice available here. This is definitely something we need to fix. I don't think we'll do it here, but this is definitely something that needs to be fixed. Let's pay wages. Hopefully raise a little bit of morale that way. I imagine that large drop was due to his injury, but I'm not quite sure. Right, so let's get another point in spy. I think scouring search is definitely the one to get, or maybe even stealth op. Let's go with scouring search just because we're traveling so heavily at the moment. But we'll definitely pick up the other one straight after. Right, so our quartermaster has got to level 5 in quartermaster, which means that we can pick up a reliable hand, increases payment by 10% plus intimidate, so by 18%. That should be a very nice bonus to our earnings. And we have a gunner that's leveled up as well. I'm almost certainly going to go for meteor defense. I think it's an often overlooked skill. It's one of those that you never need it until you do, and at that point it's too late. I'm actually going to go to the Syndicate Core world, just because it sounds like, it sounds like an absolutely amazing place. I don't think we'll get anything brilliant out of here. I'm willing to give this a go, I think, but what I'd really like to do is just repair our ship. Right, we're not going to fight this. We're definitely just going to surrender to looting. We gained 30 experience, we lost 40 morale. There was nothing to loot. I don't actually think it used to be 40 morale. And it never used to say this as well. I guess because we don't have any cargo, we lose more morale, but the pirates don't get anything. That's fine. We've gained 3 reputation at the cost of some morale. Not ideal, but guess it'll be fine. While we're here... Right, this is brilliant. They've reduced the price by 20%. I believe that's Devalto's trait. 2 weeks, 3 days. I don't think we have anything urgent in our mission. We have to be back at the Vane Court in 16 weeks. I think we should be able to do that quite easily. Each jump takes a week. So this is 4. Yeah, we should be fine. Right, let's heal the crew. Do we have time to repair everything? 1 week, 5 days. Should be fine. That should put us at 12 weeks on our quest. Yeah, 12 weeks. Alright, so, best to get a move on, I suppose. Right, so we've made it almost full circle to Orion Expanse. There's a pirate fleet in the area, so ideally we don't stay here any longer than we have to. I'm still checking these despite us not having much time. I think 72 morale will have to do for the moment. We'll escort the negotiator. And so we have 2 hyper jumps left. We have 8 weeks to get there. We should be absolutely fine. In fact, before we set off, just grab fuel at a slightly inflated price, but better to pay too much than to not have any at all. We actually had a contact on a luxury planet just there, but unfortunately we don't have time. Yeah, that would have been our Just All Explorer, who has trait conditioning. This is trait conditioning. I think is quite rare. I haven't seen it too many times before, so it would be nice to build up some reputation with the Explorer. See how much we can get out of them. Right, so we have come into contact with the pirate, but it's one of ours, so we will just acknowledge and head off. We've also discovered the trait of one of our crew members as obsessive. When we land, we will have a look at what that actually means. Now we're absolutely fine on time. We've still got 5 weeks. Yeah, I don't think any of these are... I think they're slightly too risky for us. Let's begin with this over the spice plate in order to increase the morale of our engineer officer. And then we'll hand in diplomatic tour. We'll do that over spice beer as well, just to raise his morale a little bit higher. So that should be everything. Let's do this once, just raise him above the 90 threshold. and then we'll pay everyone's wages. So now we've got a huge 6 level ups to do. Let's do those now. So we'll start with the doctor. We're not going to level up their talent because we'll wait for them to get rank 5 in doctor first. We'll give it a level. The engineer will keep hoarding his points into engineer, looking to get us that discount on the new ship. The E-Tech, I feel like some of these talents which influence the card games are probably better, but I'm going to go for storm shielding for the same reason as I went for the gunner talent against meteors. I think they're just too vital. Right, so here we'll get another meteor defense. I think you should always have at a minimum 2, maybe 3. For navigators, classically, I've always gone for efficient route. I think it's the best one, no exception. Yeah, no exception here either, I think. More than happy to go with efficient route. Finally, we've got one of our terrible soldiers. I like to give them backline leader. I mean, if you're terrible in terms of attributes, especially with 14 strength on a rifle, he's not going to be doing very well. At least with backline leader, he'll be able to contribute somehow, if not directly, then by buffing the team. Let's go see Callaghan Fane. We should discuss further work with the Prince. Welcome to my court, Star Trader. Please call upon me whenever you have need. All of my staff services are available to you. We have found your hospitality to be very thorough, Prince Fane. Please call me Callaghan. As you know, I have pressing work I would like you to undertake on my behalf. I need you to escort Arbiter Estelle Brockstrom to a judicial tour as she inspects the evidence in the case against my daughter. She will need to meet with Princess Aten Char, the Highwind's owner. I assume you've heard by now the claims that my daughter, Valencia Fane, is personally behind the bombings of the military orbital station. Such a circus. Estelle will also need to meet with the McLomnu judge who is hearing the case. She will put the fear of Shalun into him, and remind him that law cannot be cheated for their vendetta against me and my family. Then you suspect the entire legal case and bombing is a farce to defame your daughter. This is not a matter of defamation, Star Trader. If Princess Aten Char wins the case, this will be a matter of life and death. With retribution and justice on their side, Aten will send assassins to kill my daughter and the heir to my princedom. What is this vendetta of which you speak? Our galaxy is being torn apart by war and constant conflicts. The governmental structures that were put in place by the Prophet Shalun are no longer working. Some would call that dangerous blasphemy. I do not malign Shalun or the laws he crafted for us, but times have changed. We were each one quadrant, isolated, alone. But the Hyperwarp has reconnected all of our people. And now, the Shalun laws that once helped stop the cycle of violence are now being used to perpetuate it. Therefore, our world has changed. Laws must change. I have fought publicly for these changes, fought to restore order and peace, and it has made me many enemies. Though there are those who gain power from discord. Aten Char and whoever she's working with are among those enemies. I ask that you escort Estelle to and from Char's world safely. There may be those who wish to stop her or harm her along the way. So Callaghan Fane has added an offer for a story mission to his mission list. We can accept it if we're willing to escort the Arbiter into Aten Char's territory. I think we are. Yeah, I think so. Let's quickly just pop a couple more ranks. Yeah, just a couple more. And then we can take the Arbiter Neutrality. We'll also get... maybe we should have taken the other diplomatic tour. All that money would have been nice. Right, I'm not going to get another soldier from him. What I would like to do before we wrap up for today is I would like to get another contact. I think a diplomat will probably be wise, especially since we're going to be escorting the Arbiter right now. It's a bit of a diplomatically tense situation. You can see that the Steel Song have beaten us in the alliance conflict. I'm not quite sure what adverse impact that will have on us, but I suppose we'll see. Yeah, I'm happy to do this. Of course it happened that way. Right, we'll leave that. Lesson learnt for the time being. We don't have any intel to sell. I would quite like the diplomat as an officer. Let's see what we can do about adding another officer cabin. We are indeed allowed one more. Perhaps we get rid of a larger weapon and then replace one of these with a small weapon. I'm not too sure. Let's actually just start by replacing one of our weapons for an officer cabin. It'll take 4 days, that's fine. And then let's hire our diplomat as an officer. Hopefully this pays off in spades. Wearing a nice suit. And he's got quite a bit of doctor skill as well. Maybe we'll be charisma of 30. Brilliant. Yeah, this should be very nice. I'm going to give him 3 points in diplomat and 1 point in doctor. I believe this is the point at which we will start branching out and not just having one person as a doctor. As a diplomat, we will definitely take the negotiation test to begin with, and over time we will take things like winning compromise, silver tongue. There are a lot of really cool perks in diplomat. I really like the diplomat job. Yeah, we're still waiting for a level up from our doctor, and I believe that's it. Let's have a chat with Alexander, see if he's offering us anything nearby. Not really. I would quite like to do a survey tour, but I think our crew just isn't there yet. We don't have the space to transport someone, but now that we have a diplomat, I am perfectly happy to do diplomatic and negotiation missions. Let's head over to Rychart Prime. Right, so let's bribe the military officers and get their disposition to 1. There we go. Right, so we've also lost the trade ban conflict with Senren. We've learnt of a rumour of a meteor storm, and there's a trade blockade over Rychart Prime. I guess this is directly related to us having just lost the trade ban with Senren. So the system's on lockdown. We can only land by attempting to run the blockade and reach the surface. Talents that prevent pilot test failures are not used when attempting to land on a system. That's dangerous. With the blockade come a swarm of smugglers hoping to strike it big. We're more likely to encounter smugglers while spying, blockading and patrolling. I guess that's good for people who are blockading. Keeping guard over the system. Local military vessels are also more likely to be encountered. That's fine because our reputation with Rychart is 77. The local authority, The local authority rewards blockade runners with reputation bonuses for trading, and the economy's hunger for resources it demands will be much higher. Good way to make money if we were a merchant. Local security is on high alert and trade officials are crawling the exchanges. Trade law is increased by +1. As the system's graphs have limited options for communication, we're more likely to intercept intel or credit-bearing messages from the system while spying. With the economy squeezed, contact residents in the system may lose influence. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got here. Didn't see too much of a difference. We managed to run the blockade successfully. We should refuel. I don't think anything desperately needs repairs. No, that's all fine. And yeah, we don't have our skill. Let's... Are we in a solar war at the moment? Yeah, we are, and we're winning. Interesting. So let's try and seal that in by helping out here. Let's do the timed export. I would quite like to do Artful Jumper or Wake the Cell as well. But we don't have the space because we're currently transporting the Arbiter. Yeah, we are. Okay, well, that's where I'm going to leave it here for today. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.